Balaclava pattern. We have a very cute pattern to make a balaclava. So in this example, these are the children's sizes. So we have a slit in the front, and it's basically a rib stitch. And in this video, we will show the more complicated parts of the pattern. So here we have knitted um, basically the neck. So you can see where the slit goes. And then we're transitioning into the part that covers the head. So here you can sort of see when you're doing the split, you knit some stitches. You're going from knitting in the round to knitting flat. So you're knitting some stitches. If it helps you, you can put a stitch marker, because you will be knitting that rib part with only just a few stitches. So if it helps you, use a stitch marker. So when you're done, then we'll be picking up stitches along one side, then knitting all the stitches off of the needle and picking up the stitches on the side again. It looks maybe complicated, but once you are actually, when you're doing it, it will make a lot more sense. So this is how we pick up the stitches. So you just basically insert the needle, wrap the yarn around, and that's it. And you just go along and pick up the number of stitches specified in your pattern. So depending on the size that you make, it will be a different number of stitches. And as long as they're just evenly spaced out. So you keep going. So now we're at the end of that one side, picking up the stitches. Make sure to count them so that you're, so you see, you have the stitches that were already on the needle. You picked up one side, and this is the back of your balaclava. And then now we are going to knit all the stitches off of the other needle. So even though this is a children's size, you can probably use a shorter needle, 16-inch. I prefer to use a longer needle, so just keep knitting. It's basically a personal choice. I think for adult sizes it's easier to use longer, and for children's it's okay to use the shorter 16-inch. In this example, I'm using 32-inch, and you're knitting in pattern. So this is a rib. Then when you're knitting stitches off of the needle, you're just continuing with that 2x2 rib. So when you get to the end, so you're at the end, you have knitted all the stitches off of the needle that were just sitting there. So we're almost there. We just need to pick up stitches along the other side. So we picked up, we knitted, now we just have to pick up more stitches. If you're using a shorter needle, you just keep going. For a longer needle, you just pull the cable out. And we do have separate magic loop videos that you can watch. So same thing, exactly same thing that you did on the other side. You're just picking up stitches. And you just keep going until you have the right number of stitches picked up. So here we're almost done. Just a couple more. Make sure to count. And here we are. So you can really at this point see the structure of this garment. So this is the back of the balaclava. And you can see, okay, so this is the back of the finished project. And then you pretty much are just going to be knitting in the round the rib stitch. And you just keep going until you're done. And you will have a very cute little head accessory.